folks, and good afternoon. Welcome to the social media shows. I'll be your host, OG Silverback, and today I have the exact pleasure of representing our guest right here, Priscilla Moy. Hey, Priscilla.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming. We appreciate that.
Of course. Very grateful to be asked.
Yeah, that's a very nice dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so hey, folks, when I knew Priscilla was coming, I had to put my bling on because I knew she was going to be representing, so I had to step up my game. So,
I'm glad to see it. The first thing I noticed was, oh, you got all
Yeah.
the ice on.
I get a lot of compliments on my ice.
Yes, of course.
So how's everything going with you?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got? What you working on right now?
There's a lot of things in the works right now. I have some premieres coming up.
Nice.
On Amazon Prime and things like that, so I'm really excited for it. Obviously, I've shared it. You know, it's going to be called Define Love, or
Okay.
To Fake Love. The director I had the pleasure to work with, he also writes a bunch of these anthologies, once parts, and so I was able to be one of the leads.
Nice.
We just got notice that Amazon Prime is going to pick it up.
Nice.
We don't have a release date yet, but
Okay.
I will keep everyone posted. I'm really excited. I've seen it. It looks amazing. So.
I'm excited too. You know, folks, I've had the pleasure of working with Priscilla on a couple sets, and she's always the consummate professional. I like that about her. She keeps everybody in check, so I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you for that compliment.
Also, folks, it's very interesting because to get the lead role, that's like a very big deal.
It is. It is. And I was so lucky getting this lead role because I didn't even audition for it.
No way.
No, I didn't. And it was just because through marketing, through social media, and they were scouting actors. And how I got this role was I was just invited to the premiere of the first one.
Okay.
To meet, feel it out, and everything like that. And they just gave me a chance. They trusted what I've been promoting. They trusted my resume that I sent them. And
Wow.
I know. Look at you know what I mean? Sometimes
Right.
it's that easy.
Yeah,
Well, it's not
yeah.
easy, but it's that easy.
Right. Well, you know, sometimes luck meets opportunity because I know you put in a lot of work. Like, I follow her on social media, folks, and if you don't, you should follow her. She's got a lot of stuff going on. But I see you put the work in. Like, you're always working. You're always going to places and stuff, and I know you're studying. So I think what happens is when you put the work in, the universe kind of presents opportunities for which you're ready. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, I think that you should always be ready for that one big break. You know,
Right.
everyone wants the big break. Everyone's striving for it. But there's a lot of people who don't understand that. Like, you have to put work in behind it. Because if they came in right now and they handed you a role for a new Warner Bros. Thing, would you be able to handle it?
Me personally,
You know.
I would, folks.
You know, I ask that to a lot of actors,
Right, yeah.
and you know, in their mind, like, yeah,
Right.
and then if their performance isn't what they would have liked it to
Right.
be, it's kind of like a sign where it's like, okay, take your time.
Yeah.
I trust me, like, you know, the industry is going to be the industry, but taking your time, learning your craft, you'd rather have something great than people know you for your poor performances.
Yeah, no, I agree. And speaking of what she's talking about, folks, I know some actors, I'm not going to say any names, but they had some big opportunities presented for them because maybe they had the look or whatever, but they didn't do the back work like you said. And so even though they got the part, you know, they're going through the scripts and stuff, and the director's like, nah, this just ain't working. And now they actually get cut from the whole thing.
Yeah, we can have that.
Yeah, no,
You
because,
gotta
you
be
know,
ready.
you got to be ready. And I think what's great is in the background, you know, I do a lot of acting classes and things like that in martial arts, and I'm sure you do as well because I've actually trained with you before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that gives you confidence when you go for a role. No, because seriously, one thing I like about Priscilla, you're multifaceted. Like, you're not just another pretty face, because obviously there's a lot of beautiful actresses, but you're also very fit, and you also know your skill, like your acting and stuff. And then she does martial arts and stuff like that, so I think you just got the full package.
I would say big martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, I have a background in dance and gymnastics.
Right.
And since I also model, like, I kind of intertwine all of those to make my brand, whether it be through posing, whether it's knowing how to move my body, just standing out from the crowd, because I have to. Because I am petite. I'm not 5'10", like they want models to be. You know, I am Asian, and it's hard to get roles when you're in a kind of a box.
Okay.
You know, and not be typecast. You know, I think Asians are slowly coming on the rise, but we have our own struggles, especially within the industry. And so they just like to place us where, you know, we'll accept it and we'll be grateful for it, of course, but they get away with that a little bit.
Wow.
So.
Okay, I was never aware of that because I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican. And so I really don't look at race or culture. I look at personality. But just so you know, I've been doing this acting thing for about a year and a half, and I didn't know there was like issue with agents and stuff like that.
Yes, I've
Wow.
even had agencies, I won't name the name, where they tell me that I should change my whole goal. I should stop modeling because only tall women look good in clothing, and I would ruin a fashion show.
Wow.
And two, as an actor, I should only be going for the stereotype roles, the ones with the accents, the store owners, the restaurant owners, because that's the only way I make money.
Whoa.
And for me, someone who's been doing this now 13 years, and I've been like training, I've been doing all this stuff, and I constantly work on my craft. I have a degree in it, all of this stuff.
Right.
For someone to tell you, yeah, but that's invalid.
Yeah.
Because people only look at, I was talking to people that I just meet every day, and they ask me about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, honestly, this whole industry is literally based on the most superficial and shallow things.
Mm-hmm.
You can not get a job because of the color of your eyes. You know, like, you think everyone here in this room, all you viewers that are watching, we're human. We have insecurities. Even as confident as you can be, there's something deep down where you're just like, dang it, I wish.
Right.
And imagine your whole career is based off of those insecurities and highlighting them. No matter where you go, it's not even about talent. The first thing they're going to look at you and be like, oh, no, too short. Her hair's black. Or your hair's too short. Or your fingers aren't long enough. I don't know. Things that you wouldn't think. But that's what they care about.
Right, yeah.
And your age and your ethnicity, and you're kind of like cattle.
Right, yeah.
And once you're not usable, they tell you time to find backup plan. So it's very, very tough.
It's interesting you say that because before I came to Vegas, I was in LA trying to break into the acting. And I just got to be honest with you, being transparent. I think Vegas is a lot more easier, like if you're new.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in LA, it was like, who you know, who's your agent, who you affiliated with. It's all about who you know. And I'm new. So the reason I bring that up, I went on a cattle call. So in LA, they got these things called cattle calls. It's like, oh, we need a tall martial arts dude with light eyes and bald head and muscles. So I was like, that's me, right? And I get there, no, there's like 50 other dudes. Some a little bit taller, some shorter, some blue eyes, some green eyes, some gray eyes, some more muscular.
Mm-hmm.
And being I didn't have a resume, they were just like, they just weren't even considering me. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's tough. Vegas is very underrated.
Yeah.
I think, I came here from Chicago with a full resume, full reel, full portfolio, full knowledge of the industry. Because I think industry smarts is number one. You have to know what you're getting into. You have to be prepared.
I agree.
And then when I came here, I've been working ever since. But I don't know if I would start in a place where the mindset's extremely shallow and superficial. The West Coast and even like New York, the big cities, they're so blown off by like what the city can do for you.
Mm-hmm.
To dream like the Big Apple or Hollywood or all of those things, but they don't realize that there's also millions of other people that move to those same cities doing the same thing.
Yep.
And Vegas, I had no idea what was out here
me either.
in film.
Yeah, me
and
either.
I was like, well, I'm going to make it work. If anything, it's close to LA anyway.
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So you're kind of like a bigger fish in a small pond, and it gets you more work because the thing that everyone wants is to make sure that you're still working, bringing in the checks, and you're slowly building up your resume. And this would be probably the great place to do it.
No, I totally agree. But what's interesting, folks, and I want to share this with you. So I came here from LA. I was so downtrodden because I just got beat up because I didn't know anybody. I didn't have the right look. I had the right connections. I said, you know what, man? I'm going to go to Vegas because my buddy, he was like, oh, go to Vegas. It's like a back door into Hollywood. So I came to Vegas. And it was funny. I've been shooting a lot of stuff in Vegas. I mean, LA.
Oh,
no, I'm in Vegas, and they're like, I'm doing, auditions and this and that. They go, oh, come to LA. So I was like, wow. So it's just a matter of coming to Vegas and getting the right connections, but you still end up going to LA for work sometimes.
Right. Yeah. But it's best to live here. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
You guys, it's hot, but it's the new LA. In my mind, I'm looking at it and I'm like, in a couple of years, we're just going to be back to back with LA. Everyone's moving here from LA.
Yeah, I heard Mark Wahlberg has opened up a studio here. Yeah, George was actually telling us about that.
Right here.
And then, I think some other people are opening up some actually studios because it was in the news and it's going to generate a lot of work for, because there's a lot of work in the movies, folks. It's not just being in front of the camera. Me, myself, I'm an extrovert, so I want to be in front of the camera. But there's a lot of back work like electricians and camera and assistants and all this stuff, you know what I mean? So it'll be a lot of work for people in Vegas, but I just tell you that the movie industry, I agree with what Priscilla said because if you don't understand the industry, you can get kind of caught up and you can get lost.
Yeah.
And it can really mess with your head.
Yeah, and you get lost with the wrong people because everyone. The first thing you have to understand is that everyone wants to be an actor. Everyone wants to be a model. Or they just claim. Now it's one of those careers where everyone can just say that they are.
Right.
And what sucks is for people like us, or people who are actually working, who are in it, when people hear it that don't know, they assume that you're part of that. You know, especially Instagram, you're an influencer, you're an Instagram model, you're a TikToker, you're a social media star, content creator, whatever you want to call it. Nothing wrong with that, but when you're not that, like, it kind of makes you feel a little like, oh, dang, like, all this work, and, like, I'm a content creator.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of people that chase that dream because they want it for the wrong reasons. They want stardom, they want recognition, they all want to be somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it and you get messed up with those people, you kind of then take on their reputation.
Right,
you know,
I agree.
And you take on what the repercussions for that is. So
and guilt to association.
Yeah, so if you're doing a project with someone that's like, oh, no, I got this, that, we know all these people, you do it, you put the work in, you may or may not get anything from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of pushes your career back, too, because you're banking on constantly updating your reel. You put the time in, you keep traveling. If you have to supply your own hair and makeup wardrobe, that's also money, right? And so it's there's a lot of that, and it's very annoying, especially when you're at a place where you know you want to work with people only at your standard. But you don't know that until you experience.
Yeah, until you
everyone's
get in.
all talk. And it's my biggest pet peeve is when people are all like, oh, you know, I got this, or, you know, this is what I want to do. And they see that they want to make sure they take all the people they can that have experience and outsource it so they kind of they look better.
Exactly.
Right.
Without them actually putting the work in.
Yeah.
And speaking of associations, just like this, there was this comedian named Ari Spears. I'm not sure if you heard about what happened, but he did this set with the kid, and then it became like kind of weird. And there was a famous black comedian lady. She's famous now, like she's big time. But back 7 years ago, she was associated with this guy. Now her career, because stuff comes up and resurfaces.
Oh, yeah.
And now she's on the social media saying, hey, I wish I would have never done it. But when you're a young actress or actor, you got to listen to Priscilla. You got to be very careful. This is what I learned from Nicole. Like, whenever I get offered a role or a script or a video or a shoot or a commercial, I research the producer and director.
Oh, yeah.
No, I research them. And then, like, you know how they have 7 degrees of separation? If I know somebody that's worked with that person, I'll call them up and go, hey, you know, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? And if I get, like, some negative feedback, I'll turn it down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not worth it because you're going to be having headache after headache in a process because then you're going to realize that, hey, like, they don't actually know what they're doing. Like, no one knows what's going on. It's unorganized. Why am I here? Like, and the pay is never big enough.
Right,
trust me.
Yeah, no, trust me. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So picking up the pieces and then those same people have to flip things on you because I'm very outspoken. I will tell others about
She
my
will
experience.
speak up, guys.
I will speak up. And the problem with that is, in the moment, everyone's trying to flip it to make it look like you're causing. You know, like, oh, like, it wasn't like that just because they're that insecure. And so, you know, it's just situations. Like, I have stories for days.
I bet me too. I've only been doing this a year, so I can imagine.
Yeah, so it's rough. And a lot of I can see why people would quit because it's like, why am I doing this? It's drama, and it's not worth my time. But I'm not even actually getting anything worthy because I keep getting screwed over every single time.
I got to share this with you folks, so this is my opinion. But I thought it would be easier for me to get into acting because of my martial arts, right? No, because my buddies in LA, they're martial arts, they're making movies, and I was like, oh man, they've been doing it like you, 10 years, 13 years. So I figured, I can do it. It wasn't that easy, but what I'm saying is, in the beginning, this is my story. I want to share with you folks, I believe you got to put a lot of work in up front, and you're not really getting anything back. Like, you're not really getting the rewards you think you should get, but you got to have a long-term vision. You got to be like, I'm taking these little parts, this background, these little roles, this little bit of money, and all this kind of stuff where I don't feel people really respect you. You know what I mean? But then if you keep putting the work in, this is my belief, you keep putting the work in, because I work with some talented people like you and other people that I've worked with them and I see them launch. I know that if you put the work in and you stay the path, you'll eventually get rewarded.
Yeah, it's a day by day. I mean, set kind of a time frame, but don't make it too long because then you can make excuses for yourself. Like, oh, well, you know, I heard someone who made it, but they said it didn't happen for 20 years, so I got time. You don't, though.
No, give yourself
how
time.
Bills, right?
Give yourself a time limit. Yeah.
But literally, as long as you feel like you're doing something every day, even if it's something no one sees, right?
Right.
You're yourself, you're working on your website, or you're
Mhm.
doing this, you're learning how to edit. Those are small moves that eventually, as time goes on, you see how much of an impact it makes. So even today, you know, this might not be Jimmy Fallon, but it could be one day.
Oh, yeah,
it's still a
definitely.
thing,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
the thing that you and I both did. We came here, we showed up, we're doing
Right.
this, we're putting it out there, and that's movement,
Mhm.
right?
And I think half of the game, guys, is showing up. Me personally, just in my life, you know, I'm new to acting, but I've been successful in other areas. And I think half of it's just showing up and being committed. What I like about you is you're a consummate professional, no matter where I've worked with you. And I think the main thing, guys, if you got to show up and you got to be present and be in the moment and be professional.
Mm-hmm.
And so then if you do that, I think that carries you really, really far.
Yeah, and it will.
Hey, but I had a question for you. So how did you actually get into acting? What made you want to become an actor and to get your degree and all that stuff?
Well, when I was younger, my biggest passion was fashion. It rhymes. It is meant to be, you guys, but, you know, as you can see.
Yeah.
But I would be drawing, like, sketches, you know, like, I have probably my book with them. You know, when you're young, it's just, like, little drawings.
Yeah, right.
But I started taking into that world, like, the arts, and, like, I paint on the side, things like that. And as time went on, I would see women who, you know, Victoria's Secret models, and, like, they were people that would inspire me. Like, oh, my God, the confidence they have. Like, I wish I had that. Because I never got that kind of attention when I was young.
Wow.
You know, so many people base it off of my ethnicity, like, I wasn't pretty, all of those things, and I'm like, oh, my God. The power that these women have, the confidence, they're beautiful, and it's not anything that's too risque. The art form of it, I think I just love the arts. I just start to want to be in front of the camera.
Okay.
So then I would look at, you know, movies and, you know, even Disney Channel. I'm like, I want to be that girl that all these other girls are looking up to.
Nice.
But I had everything against me. You know, I had no one that supported that, like, because, and then also in my daily life, like, no one wanted to be friends with me because I wasn't that pretty. I didn't wear what everyone else was wearing.
Wow.
So the dichotomy of that is like, how the heck do I get out of it? So as time went on, I was like, okay, let's be honest. I am petite. I am Asian. I'm only getting older. I can't walk into an agency and have them look at me and be like, that's it. You're the one. Like, you're you know, you're the next
We're
person.
going to sign you right now. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, let's take time, right? Because everyone, even all the people were just like, oh, you're not pretty enough for this, or you suck, like all this crap.
Wow.
To the point where boys wouldn't even, not even want to be talking to me because it's embarrassing for them.
No way.
Yeah, so no one wanted to be my friend. No one wanted to date me. I was a total outcast, black sheep. So I was like, well, I'm going to show everyone. I'm going to like pop up one day. So I'm like, let's take time. If I want to do this, what should I do? And I was like, I don't have physically anything the industry wants, even to this day. So I'm like, I'm going to start getting in front of the camera, start networking, finding photographers around the Chicagoland area. Just do things that won't be too detrimental, right? It's a shoot for me and a photographer. If they're good, they're good. If they're not, we don't have to post them.
Right.
And every shoot, I would try to do something different. And then I would start getting in theater in high school. Like, that's the only way I can get into acting, to be on stage. And while I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to want to get a degree in acting. I want the theater intensive. There's film schools that I auditioned for, but then when I think about it, their acting training is not as intense as theater training.
Right.
So I went to Illinois Wesleyan and I got a BFA in their acting program within the theater department and a minor in dance. And then I had that foundation. So I'd already been going around modeling, learning about photographers, how to network, how to market yourself, because Instagram came to light when I was in college.
Right.
And I just slowly went on. And then when I had that, I started to take them to agencies and showcases and start to learn, when I graduated college, how to audition for film. Because I knew how to audition for theater, and it's completely different.
No, I've heard it's different.
And how to even dress and present yourself for theater.
Right.
But I felt the stage wasn't my home. I even had professors tell me, like, we don't know where to put you when we audition for plays. Because I'm such a anomaly. Like, no one really knows. Because I'm so me.
Yeah.
So when I learned in film, you can literally just be yourself. You're representing yourself. You're not there trying to look the same and basing it off of, like, your book, your package, your monologue, your song. And after that, that's how I knew camera work is 100% for me. So.
I got a question for you. So as you were going through your journey, like, you know, going to theater and going to school and stuff, did you notice your confidence start to develop? Because I got to be honest with you, you know, when I listen to your story, That's not the person I know. You're very beautiful. You're very classy. You're very polished. You're very sophisticated, and you're very professional, and you're very cosmopolitan. So when you tell me like, "Oh, I wasn't pretty and nobody wanted to date me," I thought the opposite. I thought like guys were just falling at your feet and all this stuff.
Bullying. I remember I had a crush in high school. My parents moved from the city to the suburb, predominantly white. I remember I was made fun of. I was beaten. I was throwing things in my face because they thought I had a crush on a football player, and he was so out of my league. Apparently, everyone was like, "You can't talk to people." Like I didn't know cliques happened like that because in the city I grew up in Chinatown. It's things like that. And so I think kind of it maybe because I was already, I didn't have any more thing to lose.
Okay.
And a part of me was like, okay, but that's what I want. Like that's your passion. So why are you letting these people tell you what? And none of that. It's not like they were models or actors. And now what's funny is all of them are watching my journey and being like, oh my God, can you help me? I want to be a singer.
There you go. That's what happens when you make fun of people.
Yeah. And so it's strange because I wonder how I haven't gone insane because the dichotomy of it is just like the complete opposite. Not everyone wants to be my friend. Everyone wants to do that. And it's not always for the right reasons.
No, of course not.
So you battle who in your life is genuine. You know, but what I did learn while I was gaining confidence is that I'm able to be self-sufficient. Thankfully, because I couldn't sign with agencies right away, because I wasn't always told I was pretty, I was able to learn how to plan my own photo shoot. I can style it because I know fashion. I know how to pick a right photographer. I know how to make a storyline. I do my own hair, my own makeup. I really don't need a team.
You know, the inside and outs. Yeah.
But a lot of models these days, they don't know how to do a lot of things that are, to me, I'm just like, oh, that's every day. You want to do a photo shoot? I can do it by myself tomorrow. I don't need to wait on a million people.
And be dependent on somebody else, you know what I mean, for your product. Yeah, that's crazy because me, myself, in California, I was an IT professional. And my hobby is martial arts. I've been doing martial arts since the military. I'm very good at it. And my buddies are making martial arts movies in L.A. So when my daughter left for the Air Force, I was like, I'm going to go to L.A. and get into the movies. And it didn't happen. So my buddy goes, I'll go to Vegas. So when I got here, I didn't know anybody. So I went to all the martial arts places. I was like, hey, how do I get into martial arts movies? They're like, oh, we don't know. I was like, you're a martial artist? They're like, yeah. I said, all the martial arts guys in L.A., they're doing movies. I said, well, this is Vegas. So I went to this thing. I do poetry, by the way. So I went to this thing called Open Mic, right? And I did my poetry about moving to Vegas. People clapped. And there was this Indian Mexican lady. She wrote some poetry. It was very beautiful. I wept. So I asked her, like, how'd you get to speak so good? How'd you get so confident? She goes, oh, I'm an actress. I go, hey, I want to be an actor too. So she took me around Vegas.
Nice.
She took me to Dream Tracks with Frank. Okay. She took me over to this place. Dang, I forget the guy's name. He's an older guy. Real Productions. And then she took me over to Paul Casanella. And then from there, I wasn't as advanced as her, so I went to Dream Tracks, and they gave me the foundation on method acting, improv, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then you find what you like.
Right.
Not every method's for a person.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But I think what's interesting about you actually have a degree, so because the reason I bring that up at Dream Tracks, they made it very clear, you got to make up your mind if you're a theater actor or a film. No, it's totally different.
It's totally different. Some could do both, but the passion... Like a lot of the English actors, like they start on stage, and that's why a lot of them are so amazing.
Right.
Because they started there, and they know, and they just love the craft.
Yeah.
You know, here it's all about face, who are you, and things like that. But it's better to start that big and to scale it down, because the camera will show everything. So if you're fake acting, you will see it on camera. I mean, you probably watch movies where you're just like, ooh, I can't even watch. It's cringy.
That's cringe. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's funny. But no, I just, I can appreciate the work that you put in because I stayed at Dream Tracks for about 6 months and just learning the improv and the method acting and this and that and the mark and the camera and all that. And then I did a set with George one time. We played with Noel G. We were playing gangsters. And then the director was like, big man, you need to work on your acting some more. So George was like, come to Paul Campanellas. Are you familiar with Paul? So I went out to Paul, and he really refined my skill, but I really can appreciate you because when you have a degree in something, like you really study deep. Like, you know how the difference between going to trade school and college?
Yes.
So I'm like a trade school dude. I just took some acting classes, but you got a degree in that stuff.
Yeah, so. It's your whole life, and you have to do things that make you, I want to even use somewhere uncomfortable because it's not like things that are bad. It's things that, like, really, they push you. Unfortunately, I have stage fright, so when you have to do like
You?
acting rep, yes, like which is why for theater.
Okay, hey folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned. Oh, is it?
Welcome to social media shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Welcome back, folks. Hey, and as I was sharing with you, so I felt it was very important to work on my acting craft because, like you said, unfortunately for me, I've been typecast. Like all the movies I've done, it was either like a bodyguard, bouncer, bad dude. You know what I mean? And I told the directors, I was like, hey, I could play romantic roles, I could play comedic roles, but I can't, you have a blind side, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I'm the greatest actor ever, but then, the directors who directed are like, no, you need some work, so I need to do some more.
Reality.
Yeah. But I need some more work, and you've already put in the work. What I like about you, all the different facets, the camera, behind the scenes, theater, acting, all this kind of stuff. And I think that's what makes you, have this presence about you. Because whenever I see you, you're very confident. You're very confident self-assured, and I think that comes from knowing that you know your stuff. I don't know if I can cuss on here, I would say. But you know your stuff. So.
And also, because you don't want to mess around, the one thing that you have to know is that everything you do is going to be against you. So especially if you meet people for the first time, the first impression is the most important thing.
Right, yeah.
You mess up or you fail, people will remember those things. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, it's so important to me because of you and my story. It's like the biggest thing that I'm going to make sure that no one has anything to say afterwards. They can't say Priscilla wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
Priscilla, was late, or Priscilla just was acting unprofessional, or she just is not as great as she seems. And I think that comes from theater too.
Okay.
Because your professors, they will, if you're not prepared, they will tell you about yourself. And that's kind of what you're taught, because I was always taught you never know when someone's going to ask you to do something, and you don't want to be the one that says, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Either make it up or be as prepared as possible, because it's a job. Think about it. It's a job that you could have let go for something, and you can meet someone bigger, all because you were like, I don't need to know that.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
So in theater, they make you learn things like light hang,
right.
Run crew, set building, costume design.
I don't know none of that.
And as much as I hated it, I knew I wanted to be doing, design tech, because we have a design tech major in musical theater. Even with singing, they make you do that because you never know when you're going to put in a position where someone's going to ask that of you at an audition.
Wow.
Your monologue was great, but can you carry a tune? And then if you because in musical theater, like if you have to sit there and like learn that, you have the confidence to be like, okay, let me just put something on my head. You know? Not that I ever want to have to go through that. I haven't had to sing for an audition though.
Okay.
But I was like, but imagine if you haven't been put through those tough things where they force you to do things that you necessarily don't want to do.
Yeah.
If it comes up, you're just like, okay, I'm not scared, it's whatever. Right? So I've done this before. Like,
they help you come out of your comfort zone. Like I'm very comfortable in martial arts and macho stuff, but I need to be more comfortable with like sensitive, romantic stuff. You know what I mean? So I think, but I think for me, honestly, I think it's too late to do theater. I don't think I had a personality for it, and I'm just gonna stick in my niche. I know you might disagree with that, but when I hear about what you got to go through in the theater, I just think I'm too late behind the curve to even try to attempt it. You know what I mean?
It's not for everyone. I don't think it's too late, but you have to be a certain type of person.
Okay.
The hours are long. It's not like film. Rehearsals, dress rehearsals. It's like if any performer, even though they do shows, we think of Cirque, all of those people, how much work it took prior to seeing a show.
Right.
Film, we get away with a lot because we get a list of what scenes we're filming that day.
Yeah.
You don't have to memorize the whole movie and all the lines in one sitting and have to know it front to back. Like, that's not a thing. So with theater, you have to do those things. You got to work on scenes. So it's a lot of behind-the-scenes work. So you imagine when you're doing a degree, you still have gen eds to do. Because I went to college. So after classes end, you're at rehearsal, you're doing this, you have to be here, but you have homework for how many other things.
Right. Yeah.
So that's where the work ethic comes in, and you have to really love it. Because if you don't,
you'll fall off.
You're suffering.
Yeah.
I was suffering. I was like, I would never redo college.
You did it,
no,
right?
but it's fine now.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm stronger.
I felt the same way in college, but I don't know. I want to go back to what you were saying about your physical presence with the modeling because. And excuse me, Priscilla, I'm ignorant, but I always thought there was like different, kind of models. Like, I hear this this phrase now that what's the big models? I don't know. Yeah, okay, sorry, I'm trying to be politically correct, but like plus size models, and there's average models, and there's athletic models, and so when I look at you, I was just like, okay, when they're saying you're not tall enough, but I think you're very fit. And you're very sexy, so it's like, I don't really think the height would matter, but you're saying it does.
It does, because a lot of designers like length.
Oh.
When they make their clothes, it drapes. You can see more on a taller girl, the legs, and when you're doing a runway, you can see more of and because for editorials and like runway shows, why they will only choose certain heights is because the clothes is already made to a certain length. They're not going to make it for a type of person, so all the women have to have the same butt. They'll alter it, obviously, depending on the bust size or the waist, but they all want. And then that's back in the day that I thought that the taller women will be able to model clothes more beautifully. However, I prefer print over runway. I've done runway, and it's fine. I do it mostly because I couldn't do it, so when I get the opportunity, I do it. But my passion is all camera work.
Okay.
That's where I lie, and like pictures last longer than if you even get runway pictures back.
Right, yeah.
Like, and if you fall, it's documented forever. And like, there's no photoshopping if you're bloated that day because of whatever reason, and you're in a bikini, that's it. So I just know how to make my body look a lot longer in photo. To me, I think photo, a lot of models can learn how to walk in a heel, that's all they know, but if you're put in a studio, or you're on location, you're doing a photo shoot, on the spot, like, you have to know how to sell whatever it is you're selling, whether it's clothes, whether it's perfume, or just the storyline, like a Sports Illustrated, or you're doing something for Dior, and not rely on the director or the photographer to pose you, because, and a lot of models can't do that. You put them in a studio like this one, if you move these chairs, and we just did a studio photo shoot, and there's nothing there, can a model have a photo shoot that pulls you in? Or they just gonna stand there the entire time?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to it.
No, modeling's very hard. It's not just taking a picture.
I don't know. I was just thinking because since I've known you, you've always looked very fit. So I was thinking, I personally felt like you worked out a lot, you eat really clean, or is this genetics?
No, I work out a lot.
Okay, I just wanted to check because I meet some women and I ask them about, hey, do you work out a lot? They go, no, my mom looks like that and I look like this.
Some people are lucky. And I'm like,
right.
I can't. Like, I'm still going to be petite. I don't, you know what I mean, to an extent, but to keep muscle tone and to stay in a certain shape and the kind of look that I want. I definitely work on that. Because I know in my mind, like, it's care about being prepared. If tomorrow someone asks me to do a bikini shoot or Victoria's Secret calls, I'm ready, right? Like, I'm like, oh no, I need a month, I need to prepare, I can't. So it's part of the job, you know? I mean, honestly, like, I'm not saying you have to look like this. As long as you're happy, like, if you are completely happy, this is me.
Yeah. Well, this is me too, because I work out too, guys. I might not be Victoria's Secret model, but you know, I'm a savage model. But no, I was wondering, do you eat clean? Like, do you have a specific diet, or you just kind of like watch your calories?
Yeah, I mean, I stopped obsessing. There was a time in my life where I would obsess over how much food I would eat. But nowadays, I'm like, I'm not going to worry about it. Like, not that I binge or anything like that. I know my body enough and what I can handle. What I would do right before a fashion show or photo shoot.
Yeah.
But like, I'd be happy, guys.
Okay.
You one day you're like, dang, I really want a burger, but like, I can't eat the burger. I promise you, because then once you're like allowing yourself to eat the burger, you're gonna go like 0 to 100.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, where if you eat little, like little portions, you know, you're not pulling yourself away from things that as humans we're allowed to have sugars, we're allowed to have carbs. You know, you need some calories.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So
no, I agree.
Don't do that.
No, I agree with you, Priscilla. As for me, guys, I have what's called the fat dude disease because growing up as a kid, Hispanic, we eat a lot of rice and beans. And so when I was a kid working out, like, you know, I was pretty fit, but then if you fall off the bandwagon, so what I do is I do what's called the 70-30 rule. So 70% of the time I eat like salads and vegetables and drink water. 30% of the time I have like a burger or a pizza.
Yeah.
But I don't really I'm not really a big cupcake ice cream type dude that doesn't do anything but like burgers and pizza. Like you said, I'll have it occasionally, whereas in the past, I would eat the whole pizza. No, I'd be in the office and they had these pizza parties. And they'd be like, oh, gee, did you see what happened to the pizza? I was like, oh. So now I practice moderation, so I'll have like 2 slices and stop.
Yeah, but then you don't crave it.
Right, no, because I've had it,
so you don't, go haywire. I mean, I'm Chinese. I love rice. I love ramen. I love noodle. And, like, that's going to always be part of my diet. Like, I can't not have that. Like, I would be so unhappy.
Yeah.
I'm such a foodie. I'm very eclectic when it comes to food. I'm very delicious. So, like, nothing really grosses me out. I'm a true Chinese girl. So I would try anything. When I'm looking at that fish, I'm not looking at how many calories it is. I'm like,
I just want to try the flavor.
Listen to me. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? You guys, like, just stop caring. Like, care, but don't care enough where you're just suffering. Because you're going to be so unhappy.
Right.
You're going to hate the job. You're going to look unhappy on camera.
Right. It'll shine through your personality.
Just know your body.
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting, I think, works best for me.
Okay.
You know, like, fasting a certain period of time because I eat when I'm hungry, right? I won't eat because I feel like I have to.
Okay, so you don't have a set schedule like, it's breakfast and lunch and dinner.
Some people, it works for them. They have to have that. Me, I don't have to, so I bank off of, okay, well, you eat when I'm hungry. Like, I eat when I'm hungry. That way I'm not overeating.
Right.
And I'm not under-eating necessarily. You know, because I'll do my workout, have protein shakes, I'm eating my vitamins, getting all of that. But, yeah. It depends on the person, you guys.
Yeah, but it'd take you a minute to like fine tune it, like to where you're in tune with your body, you're in tune with your hunger, and it took you some fine tuning.
Because when you watch your body change, especially like in adolescence, and when you're doing like when I was in college and I was dance training all the time, your body will change.
Right.
Plus, on top of that, I'm doing CrossFit, and you become obsessed, and you want this image of slim but toned, but while you're doing too much workout and you're building too much muscle. So you go through that, like, obsession.
Yeah.
But then that's why it kind of is bad when people ask me, what's your workout regimen? I want to do exactly what you're doing. I'm like, I don't want to feed you things that haven't been safe for you. Right?
Oh, okay.
But for me, like, when I found out what type of workouts work for me, like, high-intensity interval training, a lot of work in, like, a small amount of time.
Yeah.
Who wants to be at the gym for 2 hours? Like, I would quit after 5 minutes. I was like, I don't want to be here.
A gym rat.
And a treadmill, like, it's not doing anything. It makes me unhappy. So
me too. Yeah.
People, Pilates and yoga is their thing. Not really my thing. I don't have the patience. Weightlifting, but that's where you will find that you will look the best. Is when you find your type of workout and your type of, diet plan, meal plan, whatever. I could never have the meal prep. That's too much work. I look at these people, I'm like, you guys really are obsessing. Like, I can't eat chicken breast and steamed broccoli every day.
You're doing too much.
Absolutely not. That's not me.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm blessed in that way. I don't have to. Some people, but yeah.
So it is like partially genetics, maybe with some hard work as well.
Yeah. Because I'm petite naturally anyway.
Oh,
so
naturally petite.
5'2", and then I'm you know, Chinese are smaller people, so
Yeah.
I know I won't ever get to a place where it would be out of control.
Okay.
I don't think I could, and when my family's like that.
Okay.
However, to maintain tone and
Mhm.
maintain like proportions, you know, that's what it mostly is.
Yeah. I know you don't want to give workout advice, but like, do you work out every day, or is it every other day? Or
I try as every day, maybe 5 to 6 times a week, but I listen to my body
Yeah.
and my schedule because it could be all over the place in my mind. I used to obsess. Oh my God, I couldn't get my workout in today, but I had a 16-hour set day. I have to go home. I have to do it.
Yeah.
But you're exhausted and you got to be up at 4 a.m. the next
Yeah.
day, and it's just like you can take the day.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. You know.
Yeah. No, to piggyback on that, I don't know if you know this. So, what happened last year, guys, I was doing martial arts and yoga and all this stuff, and I started doing all these movie sets, and I never knew, like, guys, I never knew you were on a set for like 16 hours, dude. No, one time I was in the desert, so it started out hot, then it got cold. But what I'm trying to say is, I was doing like Priscilla said, I was like, nah, I got to work out because I was getting ready for a barbarian role. I had to be shirtless. I got to work out. So I just want to share this with you guys. I pushed my immune system so far, I caught the COVID.
Oh.
And I was in the hospital for 30 days.
Yeah,
and I actually passed, and they brought me back because my respiratory system. No, because no, they brought me back. No, so what happened? The doctor told me, like, if you work out too much and you sleep deprived, your immune system, your central nervous system, it opens you up to. Because I'm normally a healthy guy, and then I caught the COVID, right? And I was down for 30 days, and now I'm starting to get back to my workout, but now I practice moderation.
Right. Because you have to listen to your body. Like, you think it does more harm doing too much than it would, because you think, oh, if I skip one day, I'm going to lose all my.
I'll lose all my mass.
If you're consistent, your body will bounce back, or it will maintain it for a amount of time. So that's why I say obsessing. Like, I've been there, so that's how I know, like, it's not always the best.
It's not healthy.
No. If you're on vacation and you're just like, oh my God, that hotel better have a gym because I can't have 5 days without working out, like, you'll be okay. I promise you're going to go right back home. You'll look almost the same. You do one workout and you already got your six-pack back. I'm pretty sure. You know, so. But I've been there. That's what I could say. It's.
You know, it's been really exciting seeing you again, Priscilla. Is there anything you want to let the folks know before we close up?
Do you.
Okay.
Be yourself. You know, be confident in yourself. You don't have to be like OG. You don't have to be like me. As long as you are you, you will succeed. 100%.
I will tell you this, guys. If you want some inspiration, I would say you follow her on social media. I'm always inspired when I follow her. And if you want some manly inspiration, you can follow me on my OG Silverback channel. But until next time, guys, make sure you come see us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye.